Today I want to talk to you about the 3 reasons why I almost never employ a buy and hold strategy. Now, if you're not sure what that strategy means, basically it means buying an item now, holding on to it for a long enough time that eventually it sells at a really high ROI. Maybe you just, if you bought it now to try to sell it now, it's not going to sell very high, but you're hoping and praying and wishing that maybe a year from now, 6 months from now, sometime in the future, it'll sell at a high ROI to be able to make some good money. And today I'll tell you the 3 reasons why I don't do that. And then at the end of the video, I will tell you the one time I actually do follow through with that strategy. So here are the 3 reasons why we don't buy and hold. Number 1, it's risky. There's enough risk in business to begin with. And, I want to be able to pick and choose which risks I'm going to take and which risks I'm going to completely avoid. So it's risky. There's no guarantees. You can increase your chances of being able to know if you buy and hold something that it will sell for a higher price by doing research on Camel, and Keepa. But again, there's no complete guarantees. Whereas buying something now and trying to focus on selling it as soon as you can for a good ROI is more probable. So number 1, it's too risky. Number 2, the cost of storage. I mean, if you're selling via Amazon FBA and you're sending it to Amazon and having them store it, there's monthly storage fees, and every 6 months there's long-term storage fees, and so those can add up and eat into your ROI. And so, if I'm thinking it's going to take 6 months, a year, 18 months, 2 years to sell an item, there's storage costs. Now, some of you might be going, hey, I'm smart. I'm not going to send my stuff to Amazon. What I'm going to do is hold it in my garage or in my closet. I'll wait a couple years or 6 months, whatever your time length is, and you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to send it in later on, but I'll keep it in my garage, keep it in my attic. And what happens? Most likely what happens is that you forget. I mean, how many of you have put stuff in the back of a closet, garage, attic, whatever, and time passed and you're like, oh, I totally forgot I was going to send this in it's a Christmas item, I was going to send it in for Q4, and I totally forgot, and time passed and I missed that opportunity. Well, I've done that. I'm not going to show you right now, but I could pan over to the left here and show you my closet and how stacked it is of stuff that I plan on selling in the future. That's not good. Most of the stuff is eBay stuff that I need to have a big eBay day to get sold, but there's storage costs. Not only just money costs of storage, but there's the time cost of having to deal with storing it and finding it when you're ready to sell it. There's the mental energy that it takes, and then there's the times where you actually forget to sell it. So it's just that cost of storage eats in. But the biggest reason why I don't do a buy and hold strategy is because of opportunity costs. And opportunity cost, an easy definition of opportunity cost is this. It's the opportunity that you lose out on because of a certain decision. So you make a decision about something. There are certain opportunities that you are going to lose based on that first decision that you make. And to give you a little example of how to best understand it, I'm going to tell you a story about 2 people. The story of Bill and the story of Betty. Now, Bill, he's a forward-thinking guy. He wants to think that he can buy something, hold on to it for a long time, and sell it for good money. He thinks, hey, he found this Lego item. It's $10. And he thinks, hey, I think in a year from now, I can probably sell this for $100 because they're going to stop making it. It's not going to be available in stores anymore. In a year or 2 from now, I can sell it for $100. Now, turning $10 into $100 sounds really good, but what are we losing out on? What is Bill losing out on by making this decision? He's missing out on the opportunity to sell the item, to pick a better item with ROI that will sell well now, to be able to reinvest that into another item that will sell well, and reinvest that money into more items that sell quickly, and reinvest that money into, and it begins to snowball. So here's Bill. Bill, this year, is buying something for $10, and if he tries to sell it now, it's not going to sell. But he's hoping a year from now he can sell it for $100 with some really good ROI. But that's it takes a year, and again, there's no guarantees, and there's having to deal with storage costs. But here's Betty. Now Betty, she's pretty smart. And for this example, we're just going to use 100% ROI. So with Betty, in month number 1, she's getting 100% ROI, so she pays it $10 for an item, and she gets $10 in profit. So she takes that. So now she has $20. You know, she'll be able to make $10 in profit. Plus, she gets her original investment back. And in month 2, she reinvests that into items that sell quick again. And then so now she's up to $20. In month 3, it's up to $40. Month 4, up to $80. Month 5, up to $160. And month 6, up to $320. She's just continually reinvesting that back into faster selling inventory. And so after 6 months, she's banking $320, while Bill is still just kind of waiting and hoping for this $100 payout later on. So obviously this is a really rough example. I'm using 100% ROI. Sometimes our ROI is higher, sometimes it's lower. Sometimes it takes longer than a month to sell. Even if this example took twice as long, and Betty was only able to reinvest her inventory every other month, and it took 2 months to sell. Still, after a full year, she's at $320 after that original $10 investment, where Bill is just hoping that he can get that for $100 in the future. So don't be like Bill, be like Betty, and be able to understand opportunity cost when you are wanting to buy inventory. So those are the 3 reasons. It's risky, the cost of storage, and the missed opportunity that you have, the opportunity cost, are the reasons why I almost never do a buy and hold strategy. Now, there is one time that I do a buy and hold strategy, and that is when I know that the ROI is going to be exponentially higher by buying and holding. Now, my buy and hold strategy does not last any longer than 6 months. My buy and hold strategy still is something that, it doesn't last any longer than a year. Because my buy and hold strategy has to do with Q4. There are a few items, specifically board games, that I know sell for 5 to 6 times as much during December than they do almost every other month of the year. And so there's board games that I know that's, I can buy for $10 or $15 during the year that sell for, $150. And so there's those times where I do that. I'm very selective about it, but those are a few times that I do buy and sell, and it's mostly board games. In fact, a lot of you know I wrote a book, The Reseller's Guide to Board Games, How to Turn Play Money into Real Money. You can find that at fulltimefba.com/board games. And I walk through that strategy even more in the book. But board games is one of the few things, it's something that I know and I'm really good at, and so that's one of the things that I do with buying and holding, knowing that exponentially the ROI is going to be greater and I'll be able to make some really good money when it comes to Q4. And I know that I'm going to be able to make that because of using Camel, and Keepa. If you don't know about those resources, they're free programs on your computer. There are certain apps that connect to them that give you sales rank and pricing history of items. So you can look back into the past and see, oh, hey, this item sold for this much last Q4, and it did the same much the year before. You can learn more about how to understand Camel going to fulltimefba.com/read Camel. You can learn more about Keepa, fulltimefba.com/read Keepa. And I tell you how to understand those graphs, how to best read them so that you can make smart sourcing decisions. So that's the only time, board games or any other items that I know that ROI is going to be exponentially higher, that I decide to buy and hold. So hopefully this is going to help you make better, smarter sourcing decisions for your inventory, will help you make profits faster, increase your disbursements, and put a smile on your face. So that's all for today. Thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. You know what? If you scroll down, you can give us a thumbs up. You can ask a question, leave us a comment, and as always, you can subscribe to our blog, fulltimefba.com. That's where all the fun stuff is, the free information where you can learn how to turn part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA. Hope you have a great day. God bless. Bye.